Alright guys, so I went back on a few things. So we got this painted, the rail painted, started painting that guy over there. I haven't gotten to that. That one was already painted. And the valve cover, probably gonna just clean the valve cover up. And then this, I'm gonna paint that nice teal as well. I just gotta tape it off. But I started doing some thinking and digging. Obviously this is on fire because, well, look at that. Cleaning all of the matter out of there. All that in there. We're trying to clean all that out, so we're just burning it. So I went back and I've decided, after spending the absolute fuckload of money that I did on this project, we're into this whole thing probably about $11,000 now after Firepunk tunes it. So with that being said, I went through and I just looked at stuff, and we went through and I watched Banks videos on all of the flow tests and this and that. And unfortunately, unless we are upgrading the head or porting the head, that is going to be our biggest restriction. Now, that doesn't mean we need to make everything else restrictive, but being that we're not going with a 6.7 head, we are going with the 5.9 head. Even though the 06s flow better than the other 5.9s, it's still more restrictive than the 6.7 head, and we're not porting it. So, what I have found is on this one, I'm going to port match this one, just get rid of that, and run this intake. I think it looks all right. Black Market Performance is about 350 bucks, and what I've found is they actually flow less than this intake. So a stock intake with the throttle valve delete on the 6.7, that is what we are going to run. Listen to that. That is now on fire. Look at all that shit in there. I'll move that out of the way. Just going through and just burning pretty much all of that carbon and stuff that's in there. This is aluminum, don't worry. That's also aluminum, so don't worry about that. But going through and just boom. No, don't burn over here, you fuck. There we go. Yeah, but this is the best way, honestly, to get it out, because this is all that what came out of there. And that stuff actually burns, believe it or not. So we're gonna go with this intake and a grid plate delete. I'm just gonna grab one off of eBay for like 40 bucks. And the benefit to that is, if you look at this intake, I'm gonna flip this over quick, there is a hole right here for the factory sensor. Now we're gonna come over here to this 6.7, and this might be a behind the scenes video, just a bullshittery, probably second channel shit. But if you look, this sensor here, if you go to the newer 6.7s, it will move this sensor to up here, and then there will be a sensor right there. So I think what we're going to do is end up taking this sensor, because this one doesn't need both. In the engine this is going on, we're not reusing this intake horn anyway. So probably take one of those or just grab one off the shelf over here. I don't know yet. But if they're the same, then that means all I have to do is just move. Look at that. The thing is smoking. So move that sensor that would normally be on the intake. Here's a 5.9 one right here. And you can see the sensors right here. This one just has two. So we'll move that sensor, put that on the intake horn, and then there will be no sensors on the actual grid heater delete. She's smoking. She's smoking good. Getting all that stuff burnt out of there. That's what we need. Watch a big old boom. Damn it, I missed. Stupid. So, that's where we're pretty much at with it. Also, everything is on order. Without the head gasket itself, and without the head, the machining itself, I didn't get the oil drain, and I didn't get the Black Market Performance intake. All said and done, it was about 2,500 bucks for everything that I ordered. Now you guys will see everything that's ordered in the main video. That's all that I ordered. I ordered everything. So we should have everything. Actually, no, I didn't order everything. I didn't order the oil pan yet, and I didn't order the head gasket yet. The head gasket's an overnight thing. There's a number on the wall that I have to call, and I can go get one of them locally. This stuff is a nasty. Gonna get all that cleaned up, get this thing all bored out. All right, so the cool part about this channel is I can kind of just post whatever I want, and if people don't like it, they don't have to watch the second channel, because this is the behind the scenes stuff, and some of you guys like it. So I'm working on cleaning all the rust spots on this roll pan. These are like $89 on eBay, so I'm gonna save this one because I need to paint it and it's already here. Everything pretty much is done. I've just decided that I'm gonna either just clean that up or slap it in, because there's nothing wrong with the paint. That's done. So let's go over here to the front of the truck. I did go through and get that painted. I got the rail painted. That's all nice and black with some glitter in it. This is painted black, and kind of did, oh, it's still a little wet, a little tacky. A hodgepodge of like that. But it's really not going to matter. Intake horns really do not make a difference. For the longest time, I always thought an intake horn would like at least lower EGTs, and according to all the other stuff that I have found, they'll actually raise EGTs, believe it or not. Now, I don't go out of my way to buy intake horns. I have never wasted my money on an intake horn in my life. I've always bought trucks that came with them. My last truck had an ATS one. This one had whatever this one is, and then the boost tubes, I did get 3.5-inch boost tubes, but that was because the factory ones were leaking and causing problems. And then I went and bought new boots, and that's the reason that I went with the 3.5-inch instead of the 3, because I was able to get them for a pretty decent price. Now she's coming together. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning now, so everything is on order. Like I said, besides like that little couple things like the oil pan and some other smidgens, that stuff I'm gonna be able to get locally. I just don't want to use a rusty oil pan, so I'll probably get that stuff on order tomorrow. Once the head comes back, we can literally slap this thing together. I've been trying to find an oil drain that works, and the one that Fleece has is a 2nd gen swap one. So I have this factory one. This is a made in America one. I'm just going to clean this up and use this in the meantime. I know I can do the 10AN line, and that's what I was going to do, but I can't for the life of me find one that is for a factory charger, except Fleece's. I didn't like the one they had. I want one that I can just pound into the block, and then it's its own separate connection like the AN lines. Other than that, I mean, other than just waiting on the head to come back from the machine shop, this thing's pretty much going to be close to ready. By the time the head comes in, the new oil pan and stuff will be in. Shop update, we got to get rid of some scrap and stuff here. Doors, if nobody wants these doors, they're going to be gone. But before we close this out, because this is just a quick little update for you guys, I have this frame here. I'm going to give it a month. All right, this is an '08 Ram 3500 cabin chassis frame. 410, so I would swap the rear or change the gear ratio, because I think this is a 410 rear. But what do you guys think? This is a clean frame. I'm going to post this whole thing up for about 2,200 bucks. 50-gallon fuel tank, cabin chassis frame. If nobody buys this in the next 30 days, so we're going to give it until about midway, I'm going to give it until about the 20th of September. If nobody buys this, this will be our mega cab long bed frame. And the way that I'm going to do that is somewhere in here, this frame needs to be extended. Now, if you look, a cabin chassis frame, this front here is a factory 3rd gen regular pickup truck frame. From this point on is a cabin chassis rear half. Same thing they did on the 2nd gens. So my thought process here, this thing's pulling out. There's a riv nut in there. Someone was putting some fucking weight to that thing. But my thought process here is I do like the cabin chassis. This is a good, clean, rust-free frame. It's got a little bit of scaling. That's not a big deal, but it is a rust-free frame. I don't know what the fuck that's about. Oh, it's welded on both sides. Okay, so that must be factory, right? So get it cleaned up, get it stretched and extended for a mega cab. This is what I would probably do. Is I would take this frame, take all of the wiring, all of everything, just take everything off of it, except like maybe the brake lines, because like the booster and all that. I would obviously change all that stuff out, but put the mega cab on here, figure out the length that we need to have the long bed, because this is a 9-foot back half, but the axle is still in the factory position. They extend it in the back. So this would solve our hitch problem. as well. We'd have to obviously modify the exhaust to come back around. This exhaust is junk, so we'll have to get rid of it. But if nobody takes this thing by midway through September, that's what we'll do. We're going to take the front axle out of it. All of the steering is going to come out of it. The springs, all of that stuff. Now I'm going to leave it a roller for now until that truck's ready, because what I would pretty much do is just take the axles, the drivetrain, the interior, the bed, all that, and slap it on this. But I need to find somebody that can extend this for me. And obviously we'll clean it up. I would like to get it needle scaled, this and that. Like I said, only if someone doesn't buy it. It also has the beefier steering box. But there you go. Also being two-wheel drive. See how it has the little stubbies in it? That's funny. There's actually a hole there. So this is actually a four-wheel drive axle shaft that they take and put a dummy in there. That's kind of cool. So I don't know. I'm just yapping on this channel. I'm just kind of curious on if someone wants it, it'd be cool. I don't mind having a cabin chassis, but I would have to take the title and everything and put this on this. So we're going up, not going down. So this would technically be a Ram 2500. I would still lower it. That truck's going to get lowered about 1.5 inches if we don't go with a full air suspension. And it does have the FAST on it, but I've already ordered the FAST 165. Don't worry, we have a brand new one coming. It was over $800, so don't worry. Not getting sponsored for any of this. This is all coming out of my pocket. But let me know what you guys think. Next video you guys will see is on the main channel. Just kind of bullshitting over here. And you guys will see we'll be slapping this thing back together. We're probably going to get rid of the steps. And probably going to start that's the other thing I got to do. I got to start doing these airbags. They're sitting over here on the shelf, but I think I'm done for the night. I'll get those painted probably tomorrow or something, and then I need to go get some actual 7500 bags because those are not going to cut it. If you guys need parts or anything, let me know. We got CP3s, actuators, boost tubes, all this stuff. Anything, we got 3 sets of good injectors, spacers, dually swap hubs, and we got 2 bottom ends over here. Just a bunch of, I got dually wheels, not the tires. The tires are shit, but just anything that we can sell in here. Kind of. We also got the DPF from a Power Stroke. We got dashes. We got intakes. I got a 5-inch exhaust sitting up here. Just trying to get rid of shit. Get this place cleaned out. I got a driver's side door that needs to get out of here. That needs to go, and then this whole front half. If anybody needs 3rd gen hoods, I have 4 of these. So come buy them. This needs to get out of my way. This is for a customer. I need to go put this in the back of his truck. This is a massive auxiliary tank. That is absolutely huge. But I'm just bored. I wish all my parts would come because I can't wait to get my truck back together, and I cannot wait to drive you and start beating the shit out of you again. If you need stuff, I am actively booking because this is an expensive project. And if you want to support your boy and how much money I've thrown into Bertha for your guys' satisfaction and beating the shit out of this truck, cpstevemiller.com.